Once upon a time, in ancient India, there was a small village where two neighboring families lived. These families had been friends for generations, but a dispute arose between them over the ownership of a small piece of land that lay between their houses. Both families claimed the land to be theirs, and as the days passed, the dispute grew more intense. They began to argue, insult each other, and even threaten to take the matter to the courts. However, a wise man in the village suggested that they seek the advice of Shakyamuni Buddha, who was known for his wisdom and ability to resolve disputes peacefully. The families agreed to this suggestion and went to see Shakyamuni Buddha. He listened to their arguments patiently and then asked each of them to explain their version of the story. After listening to both sides, Shakyamuni Buddha stood up and walked towards the disputed land. He picked up a handful of soil and held it up in the air. "Tell me," he said to the families, "who owns this land?" Both families replied simultaneously, "We do." Shakyamuni Buddha smiled and said, "You see, this land belongs to no one. It has been here long before you were born, and it will remain here long after you are gone. You cannot claim ownership of something that is not yours." The families were astonished by Shakyamuni Buddha's words, and they realized that they had been foolish to fight over something that did not belong to them. Shakyamuni Buddha then suggested that they share the land and use it for a common purpose, like a community garden. The families agreed to this idea, and the dispute was resolved peacefully. From that day on, the families became friends once again, and they often worked together in the community garden. They learned the valuable lesson that Shakyamuni Buddha had taught them, that peace and harmony can only be achieved through understanding, compassion, and a willingness to let go of our attachment to material possessions. This story illustrates that conflicts and disputes can be resolved peacefully through the use of wisdom and non-attachment. The two families in the story were engaged in a bitter dispute over the ownership of a piece of land. However, when they sought the advice of Buddha, he was able to show them that the land did not belong to anyone and that they should let go of their attachment to it. By demonstrating this non-attachment and wisdom, Buddha was able to resolve the conflict between the two families peacefully. The families were able to come to an agreement that allowed them to share the land and work together towards a common goal. This is wonderful words of life motivation. Thanks for watching.